The year is 2026 and our president has rolled out a new budget for the year as expected, right? It's still pending approval, but there's a lot to discuss about this, okay? Because this particular president has had back-to-back revenue shortfalls and has not been able to meet up to the expenditure of any year since he started putting out his budget in 2024. The 2023 budget when he came into office was the one of the past government, so he was working on that. So 2024 was his first original budget, and 2025 and this year, this is his third budget. So we have seen him say that he rolled over 2024 to 2025 and 2025 to 2026. That's a lot to discuss, but in this video I'm going to be talking about the 2026 budget today, and the 2026 budget is 58.1 trillion, which is exactly $40 billion. Now you ask, how do you intend to fund this budget? How do you intend to fund this budget? Because last year, 2025, you claimed to expect a revenue of 40 trillion naira, and then you were only able to make 10 trillion in revenue, which is a very big and wild assumption. It's like someone who has a youthful exuberance, right? Like a man who earns 200k but is planning to be making a revenue of 2 million naira. From where are you applying for a new job? What exactly how are you going to get the money from? Now we asked that question this year, and then he's saying that revenue target for this year is 34 trillion naira, and he plans to borrow 23 trillion naira to fund the budget. So that's what makes up the budget: 34 trillion for revenue and 23 trillion on borrowing, from borrowing. Now you look at it and say, if you couldn't raise 40 trillion last year, are you going to raise 34 trillion this year? Because he plans to do the tax law and everything, and then see crude oil prices rise, and make more money for himself from there and fund the expenditure for the year 2026. Now the total debt servicing for this year is 15 trillion naira. That's paying the existing debts already incurred, and that's a lot to say because you're borrowing more. So you're paying 15 trillion back, you're borrowing 23 trillion again. That's like, what are we doing here, right? But then he plans to do that, and that's the plan for 2026. He also plans to have a capital spending of 26 trillion naira and a recurrent spending of 15 trillion. Capital spending is the one you spend on infrastructure and the rest of that. Recurrent spending is the one you spend on salary, overhead costs, and running costs of the government in total.